Ends, and this is our main character, John. He was exiled in Greece until he heard Jesus calling. Only this time, Jesus wanted all the smoke because not only were his eyes on fire, but he also had a sword coming out of his mouth, and he was also surrounded by 7 golden lampstands, which were supposed to represent the 7 churches of Asia. So Jesus tells John to write down everything he's about to see, and then he stabs him. He doesn't actually stab him, he just takes him up to heaven. In heaven, John sees a giant throne with 24 smaller thrones surrounding it. Everything is so bright, he can barely make out God sitting on the big throne, but what's even crazier were the 4 multi-eyed creatures that were floating near God. And if you guessed that they were angels, well, you're right. The 4 angels were 1 lion, 1 ox, 1 with a human face, and 1 eagle, all of them with 6 wings and eyes all over their body, whose job it was to sing praises to God 24/7. But then another beast comes along. It's a lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns, and in its hooves is a scroll with 7 seals. The first seal opens and the apocalypse begins. Follow me to see what happens in part 2. This is how the world ends, part 2. So the lamb with 7 eyes and 7 horns has a scroll with 7 wax seals. When the first seal breaks, an archer on a white horse comes out of the scroll. He is Conquest, the first of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Seal number 2 breaks. This time it's a swordsman on a red horse, the horseman of war. Seal number 3 breaks, and it's a guy on a black horse with weighing scales, the horseman of famine. Seal number 4 breaks, and it's a hooded figure with a scythe. He is Death itself. Now, with 4 of the 7 seals broken, the Lamb gives permission to the horsemen to unsubscribe 1 in 4 people on the planet from their life subscription. There are 3 seals left and 3 events left to happen. Seal 5 breaks, and people pure enough to make it into heaven right away are gifted with white robes. But when Seal 6 opens is when things start to get nasty. How the World Ends, Part 3. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have already been unleashed, which means 2 more things must happen before Jesus returns. Seal number 6 breaks, and there is a giant earthquake that moves mountains and sinks islands. Seal number 6 also makes the sky black, which will probably be caused by supervolcanoes. It's a volcanic winter. Massive amounts of volcanic ash enter the Earth's atmosphere, reducing sunlight and causing an ice age. Seal number 6 also causes meteors to fall from the sky. And finally, we're at seal number 7, which makes heaven give a moment of silence for the people of Earth. Because after just 30 minutes, 7 angels with trumpets descend to Earth. And the first angel begins to rain fire and hail on the planet, causing the annihilation of 30% of all plant life on Earth. The worst part is that there are still 6 angels left.
This is how the world ends, part 4. The first angel just destroyed 1/3 of all plant life on Earth. Now the second angel comes and throws a mountain-sized meteor into the ocean, turning 1/3 of all the oceans on Earth into blood and destroying 1/3 of all sea creatures. Angel 3 blows its trumpet and a star falls from heaven, contaminating all of Earth's drinking water. Angel number 4 causes a partial solar eclipse, plunging the world into even more darkness. Angel 5 comes down to Earth to open a bottomless pit, which releases a thick black smoke alongside millions of giant locusts that swarm and cause plague all over the Earth. These locusts are instructed to sting people, but not enough to end them. And as all this is going on, the people of Earth are made unable to off themselves, temporarily cursed by heaven with immortality. Anyways, there's 2 angels left. This is how the world ends, part 5. Angel 6 blows its trumpet, which releases 4 angels from the Euphrates River to end 1/3 of humankind. These angels are joined by an army of 200 million horsemen whose horses have lion heads and can breathe fire. After this, the narrator John has to eat a scroll he got from an angel. Then he teleports to the temple in Jerusalem, where 2 prophets are preaching for 1260 days, until they're finally offed by the Antichrist. Then angel number 7 blows its trumpet and heaven sings hymns for a while. After this is when 3 giant monsters show up. First is a red dragon with 7 heads who is Satan himself. He's so big that his tail whip sends meteors crashing to the earth, and he's about to eat this woman's newborn baby before he's suddenly attacked and beaten by Archangel Michael. Satan gets kicked out of heaven down to earth. He tries to drown the woman, but then she grows wings and escapes. After this is when the first beast emerges from the ocean. Part 6. The beast comes out of the sea. It has the shape of a leopard. Most of the remaining survivors on Earth worship it. Then a second monster comes out from the ground, the Antichrist. He goes around the earth telling everyone to worship the beast and brands people with the mark of the beast. The mark is needed to buy or sell things. The angels in heaven finally act. They have 7 bowls. Each bowl is full of God's wrath. Bowl 1 is poured on the earth, and painful boils form on all who bear the mark of the beast. Bowl 2 causes the oceans to become blood. Bowl 3 causes freshwater lakes to become blood. Bowl 4 causes the sun's heat to intensify, burning people on earth. Bowl 5 plunges the world into darkness. Bowl 6 causes the Euphrates River to dry up. Then the world's armies gather at a place called Armageddon. Bowl 7 then causes a massive storm and earthquake to destroy Babylon. This is how the world ends. Part 7. Jesus and his army go to Earth and defeat its armies at Armageddon. He captures the beast and the Antichrist and throws them into hell. The red dragon, who is Satan, is sealed in a bottomless pit for 1,000 years. During this 1,000 years, Jesus comes down to rule the earth, and everyone who did not worship the beast is resurrected and lives happily. But after 1,000 years, Satan is released one last time. Satan recruits armies from the 4 corners of the earth, and they march towards the camp of saints. But a giant lightning bolt zaps down from heaven and strikes down the dragon and the entire army. Satan is kicked down into the lake of fire to join the beast and Antichrist forever. Then everyone left is judged by God. If their name is not found in the book of life, they are also thrown into the fire. This is known as the second death. Then a city called New Jerusalem falls down from heaven to earth, and God and his people live there in peace.